Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm in Midland, Texas, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. So excited to be with you here today. We have a great Fluffy Squirrel online class to go for you today. I'm sorry I'm about an hour behind. I needed to watch my grandkids this morning. They had the day off of school for parent teacher conferences. So their parents needed to go to parent teacher conferences. So I went over, and of course, they lasted a little bit longer than what they thought. But it's okay. You guys are flexible. I know that you will watch me and encourage me with your comments. Let me know when you pop on and say hi and chat with me while I'm crafting with you today. I think you're going to enjoy the cards I make. To get us started here, I am going to talk about some things that are coming up this next week with my Tuttle Up stamping business and in the Stampin' Up world as a whole. So the biggest news, the amazing news, the wow news is that Stampin' Up has a join special that is starting on October the 1st, which is this Wednesday. This is absolutely the best join special we have ever had. I can't even believe it still. So it's a great time. If you've ever thought about joining a team, it's a great time for you to join. So the first option is that you can join for $35 and get $125 worth of starter products in your starter kit. They call it a starter kit. That can be anything you want. It can be kits. It can be stamps, bundles, paper. Anything that is available to us as demonstrators right now would also be available for you to put in your starter kit. That advent calendar that I've been talking about and that I'll talk about more here in just a minute, you could add that if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. You also get a paper pumpkin kit. You get free shipping, but it's more than that, right? Let me show you the other option, and then I'll talk more about the benefits of joining a team. The other option is that you can get $189 worth of products. So that is what? $64 more than the other option, but you're paying $99 for that kit. Now, this is best for the person who wants a die cutting machine, or you want those party banner dies that cost a little bit more. You do have the option of doing a $99 starter kit as well. Okay, so the biggest reason you want to be on a team is because you get a 20% discount on all your future orders. Our quarterly minimums are very low. They're only $300. But if you join today, if you join on Wednesday, they give you your first 3 months for free without the hassle of needing to meet quarterly minimums. You would not have to meet that first $300 minimum until the end of March, which is incredible as well. So, and everything you buy between now and the end of March will count towards that first 300. But it's not 300 because it's really 240 because you're getting 20% off. So most of the people on my team are just happy discount shoppers. And if that sounds good to you, I would love to have you on my team as well. Okay, my team gets all my training, all my PDFs for free. It's really just about fun and community, and a community of beautiful people that are positive and encouraging and love Stampin' Up. So if that sounds good to you, we would love to have you on our team. Next, the Advent calendar is still available. So it just went live last week. You can get a box that looks like this, that has 12 doors in it, filled with awesome product. You get the stamp set that's shown right there. You can keep it for yourself. You can give it away to a crafty friend that you love. It's $99, but it has over $120 worth of product inside. So something to think about. Christmas is coming, but the products inside are not Christmas. You can see some little sneak peeks at the top of that banner right there. Okay, so let me get rid of these. And World Card Making Day, you have until Friday to join this free crafting event with Stampin' Up. If you live in the Midland area, I'm having a dinner party here at my house, but if you don't, you can get on for free, and it's a free virtual event just to celebrate World Card Making Day. An optional kit that you can buy is the homemade and heartfelt, or maybe it's heartfelt and homemade, I don't know. It's this adorable kit with the box with lots of stuff inside. Makes 9 cards, and you can craft along with them using this kit if you would like. Okay, next, Spooky Sweet Card and Treats class is coming up on October the 11th. This class will close out this coming weekend. $35 gets you product and everything you need to make 3 cards and 2 treat boxes or packages or cute little things to put treats in, right? And it's free with a $40 purchase. So if you want to make a $40 purchase in my TuddleUpShop.com, then you can get the class for free. Okay, if you live in the Midland area, you can do cookies and cards with me on October the 20th at 6:30. Such a cute treat and cookie class in person here at my house, or we can go to the church if we need more room. So I will put the registration for that event up in the description as well. Somebody last week said, it's so mean for you to talk about your in-person events because I can't come. And I realize that. But for those who are in person or close to Midland or within a couple of hours of Midland, this would be a fun class for you to come to. And last but not least, tomorrow is the last day that you can get early bird pricing on the Child is Born card class that is coming up. This will be our craft along class, mega class like we just had for the traditions of Christmas. 10 cards, product included. I'm going to get rid of this banner and I'm going to go to my hands because I want to show you what product is coming in a Child is Born craft along. So you get a quarter of pack of this beautiful glimmer paper that is part of the Peaceful Garden Suite. You get a quarter of pack of this, and that is 6 sheets, 6 by 6 sheets that we're going to use on our cards. Isn't that so pretty? I really love the Secret Sea color as well, so that's fun. They're calling this soft green or soft seafoam, but it really looks a little more silver to me. So you get a quarter pack of the glimmer paper. You get a half a pack of this beautiful Peaceful Garden. You get the doves. You get lots of beautiful designs here, front and back. That definitely looks like a nighttime sky, right? I don't think we'll use the hydrangeas on our A Child is Born, but look at these stars, so pretty. The doves are gorgeous. A fun crumb cake design there. Some olive leaves and another nice basic watercolor hatch, cross hatch design, and beautiful paper. So we'll give you a half a pack of that. We're going to give you a full roll of this beautiful Misty Moonlight and silver edged ribbon, a full roll of that, and a full package of gold sequin stars, okay? And you can add on the Child is Born stamp set as an add-on if you don't already have it. If you already have it, then you don't need to add it on, right? Okay, so that is what you get in the Child is Born craft along for October. Early bird pricing ends tomorrow, and the link to the description, link to that registration link will be up in the description after this video is over. It'll all be there, as well as all the other links that I just talked about. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, hi everybody, when you pop in, let me know you're here. I love to know who's watching. So I have basic beige, basic ribbon. We're using this today. We're using the loose frosted dots. We are crafting this week with the Fluffy Squirrel Bundle that's on page 49 in the Holiday Catalog. Great for fall birthdays, Thanksgiving. I can't wait to see you again. What a little teaser if you're having people over for Thanksgiving. It's a stamp and punch bundle. And if you get them together, it's only $41.95. Okay, so a great little bundle. And I hope that after you see my cards today, you will want to get that bundle. Okay, so my online classes to go, as you know, are free with a $50 purchase in my Tuttle Up shop. And hi, Sherry. Thanks for saying hi. I was feeling a little lonely here today. The Fluffy Squirrel Stamp and Punch Bundle is something you will need if you don't already have it to complete the cards as we have designed them. And you get a full color PDF, right, of all the instructions. We do this every time. We are using the Weekend Adventure 12 by 12 paper. Great little woodland prints in this. This is actually a scrapbooking kit for camping and that sort of thing, but we are using it for our squirrels this week. And I already talked to you about the beige ribbon and the embellishments. So you get everything you need to make the 5 projects we are doing this week with a $50 order. I send everything pre-cut and ready to go. If you do an order of 60 or more, I throw in the loose frosted dots as my gift to you, okay? All right, so let's get started. Let's tuttle up and start stamping. Okay, so here is our first card. It is a vertical gatefold card. It says, "May you gather happiness." I love that there's acorns on that designer series paper, and you get the woodland trees in the background. And then this is a gatefold card, so it opens like this and like this. Cute little acorns inside. Hi, Jan. Thanks for joining us. And then it's an easel, so it can sit up like that. You can sit up on your desk like this as well. Okay, you guys know I love those kind of cards. So, sorry. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, I needed to sneeze. Oh, snuck up on me. Okay, so we're starting with a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11. And we have scored it at 2 3/4 and 8 1/4. 2 3/4 and 8 1/4. So I'm going to fold this in. A gatefold is when, you know, it looks like you have 2 gates coming together. You've seen lots of gatefolds with me because it's one of Monica and I and Jeannie's favorites. So we use this fold a lot. Okay, so that's going to be our card base. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and stamp the inside and get that attached. So I have a piece of very vanilla cardstock here. And I'm going to take my acorn and stamp 2 of them in the bottom right corner in Early Espresso ink. So yes, I still have my silly boot on from breaking my foot a couple weeks ago. And I still don't like it. I thought maybe, you know, it would grow on me, but it's not growing on me. I hate the thing. So just 4 more weeks and hopefully I can get it off. For my acorns on the inside, I'm using this bronze Stampin' Blend in bronze. Okay, and I'm just coloring the tops of my acorns here in that bronze blend, Stampin' Blend. And then let's do some crumb cake on the bottom here. Is that what I did? Yep, crumb cake. It just looked a little weird to me for a second. And I'm going to grab my light crumb cake and just kind of blend this all together. Use the other end. There we go. Okay. There we go. So there's my acorns for the inside. I'm going to add some seal to the back of this. Hi, Beverly. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Jen told me you're doing lots of beach time these days. That's pretty awesome. I wish I lived close enough to a beach to do beach. I could not be further away from the beach. I just have to say, Midland, Texas is nowhere near any beaches. So I'll just have to live vicariously through you, Beverly. Okay, so I am going to grab my bone folder because I want to get some really good folds on this here. Okay, then I'm going to grab some of my front panel pieces here. I have a piece of pecan pie and a piece of that DSP, and this is the one that has the trees on it right here. I have a piece of DSP that has the acorns on it. So this pecan pie is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. The DSP is 4 by 5 1/4, and this piece of DSP is 4 1/4 by 1 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to grab my paper snips here. Oh, I'm sorry, Sherry. That it always stinks, doesn't it? I've never broken a bone before in my life, so the fact that I have a broken bone now is kind of annoying, right? I thought I was going to be able to die saying I'd never broken a bone, but no, not in the cards for me, right? Okay, so I'm just roughing up my edges. I kind of like the texture that gives a card. Okay, and I'm going to set that aside for just a second. I am going to put my DSP on my DSP, right like this, kind of off to the side. A little more to the right than to the left. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a panel that is early espresso. Here we go, and this is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, and we have run it through that birch tree embossing folder. So I'm going to add some seal to this if it'll cooperate with me. I know better than to try to add seal to an embossed piece, but it looks like it'll work for me here. The reason is because the fibers in that paper have, I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Yep. Have been broken down by the embossing folder, so it makes it very fibrous and harder to use seal on them. So there we go. So there's our front panel. I'm going to take my basic beige ribbon and wrap it around this and tie it in a bow off to the very, very edge of it here. Far to the edge as I can get it, and tie it in a bow. So did you guys do anything fun this weekend? I had 2 Traditions of Christmas card classes on Saturday. I had one in the morning for 5 people and one in the afternoon for 4 people, and then I sent out a lot of kits in the mail to go. So thank you guys who supported me with your Traditions of Christmas craft along. I really, really appreciate your business. So I'm just moving that bow as far to the right side as I can, and I'm going to take in some slack on the back side here. There isn't a lot, but sometimes when you put a ribbon around DSP, it's kind of hard to get it really tight without tearing the DSP. Okay, so now this is going to go right on that basic beige panel, and I won't have to worry about the ribbon showing on the back side. Okay, so we are Chiefs / cowboy fans in this house. We're really cowboy fans, but my daughter and her husband are huge Chiefs fans, so we have kind of adopted them as well, although they're not our number one team. And they both won. Well, I shouldn't say they both won. Chiefs won, Cowboys tied in overtime. So we're taking that as a win. If you're a Cowboy fan, you know what I'm saying. So we're taking that as a win. Okay, so now this panel is going to get attached just to the very top gatefold here, just to the top panel. Okay. Oh, fun, Sherry. I love weddings. How was it? Did you get to dance? Jim and I love weddings because we get to dance. We don't have very often times where we can dance. So we're not great dancers by any means, but we do enjoy dancing, and not country dancing necessarily, just fun dancing, right? We haven't lived in Texas long enough to get good at country and western dancing, but maybe we will here soon. Okay, so we're attaching this just to that top gatefold right there. It's going to open like that. Cute, huh? Okay, and then I have the textured notes dies. You guys know I love these. These are those rectangles that all have different embossing stitching around the edges of them. So up here in the upper right corner, I am taking our sentiment that says, may you gather happiness. I'm actually using this one on both cards today, but we will vary the sentiments on the next two cards and on our 3D project on Wednesday. Okay, so there we go. Now, I have a little scrap piece here of Very Vanilla. This is cut out of Very Vanilla. I don't know if I said that. And I'm going to stamp my squirrel. And this is the squirrel that matches the squirrel on the punch, okay? So I'm going to stamp the outline image first. There we go. And then I'm going to pull in my pecan pie ink. And I'm going to stamp the squirrel's body on the inside in pecan pie ink. And I want to show you some a cool detail that they did with this stamp, which I think is kind of fun. So we're going to just line it all up. Don't get too stressed about it. If it goes a little off the edge, it's okay. There we go. But I like how they put these little tick marks to look like the fur, right? Like detail in the fur. So that's a cute detail they did with this stamp, which I think is kind of fun. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my punch. And I am going to punch out my cute little squirrel. There are lots of squirrel lovers out there. I have to tell you, we have a squirrel in our yard that does nothing but torment Rory. Torments her. Stands right in front of the window and just kind of, you know, makes her life miserable. I don't know why it thinks it's fun to do that. And of course she goes nuts. So we're constantly wiping off the window with her paw marks that she gets up on the window because that squirrel is yapping at her. Yap, yap, yap. Okay, so this is going to go right there like that. Okay, now I have a piece of, oh, I'm sorry, Sherry. Well, you could still kind of dance, right? I've seen people dance in wheelchairs before, so I think it's possible, but I get it. Not quite as fun, is it? All right, so I've got my acorns again. I'm stamping them on pecan pie paper with early espresso ink. And then I'm going to do on the tops of them kind of what I did on the inside. I'm going to use that bronze blend and just kind of color the tops so that they are a little darker. Okay. Grab my punch and punch out my acorns here. There's one. And I'm going to slide this in. There's my second one. Okay, now I'm going to grab mini dimensionals, and I just happen to have my black ones here, so I'm going to use those. And I'm going to put these kind of under the little squirrel's hands so it looks like he's holding them. This squirrel is gathering happiness, right? With these little acorns. So cute. Okay. There we go. And we have this early espresso and old olive linen thread. This is part of the Gathering Together bundle. And I'm just going to tie a little bow. I cut way more off than what I needed. I probably could have tied it without even taking it off the spool, but it's all good. I'll use the extra old olive thread. And we're making just a little tiny bow, just a little one that's going to go at the top of those acorns. Okay. And I'm going to grab my glue dots and attach it to the top of those acorns. I'm going to press it in. I'm going to pull it up with my scissors and kind of roll it to the center, and then it'll go right there at the top of my acorns. I could probably even pull these in just a little bit smaller. There we go. Cut my tails off here. So yeah, I had a busy day. So I had a morning class, an afternoon class, and then I went to Lincoln's flag football game. So this is going to get popped up. How cute is that? It's going to get popped up right here over that ribbon on the front. I'm going to use some regular dimensionals on the back of this one. So sorry about my time change today. I hate when I have to do that, but you know, I moved to Midland to be close to my grandkids and be able to help them out when they needed it. So I'm glad I made that a priority today. And you're still getting to see these awesome cards, right? So no one's losing here. There we go. There we go. Okay, so there's the front of my card. Now, I've got these frosted dots over here. And we are going to use the ones that are yellow. And this is way I have found the best way to pull them out. Is I pull them out from the container, because these are not adhesive. I'm not using the pink ones today. Well, I am later. Maybe I'll just leave that out for later. I want the yellow ones. So, of course, that's not what I'm pulling out of here. There we go. There's my yellow. Okay. Move the rest of these. I feel like I need one more big one. Oh, there we go. And then the best way I have learned to put these on, let me get rid of the pink one, thought that was a yellow one, is to set them out here like this with there's a frosted side and the shiny side is the back side. So we're just gonna lay those right there. And then I grab my my liquid glue with my fine tip on it, and I just add some dots. 1, 2, 3. And I have 5 out here. Why not use them, right? Let's do 4, 5. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. And use that putty end, and I'm going to lift these up on the frosted side and then just place them, see where I want them, right on top of those glue dots. Boop. Super easy. And one more little one right there. There we go. So there's our card, one of our cards for today, our first one. And may you gather happiness, and then it opens like this, and you can actually set it up like an easel this way in a triangle on the top of someone's desk. They can display it for you. So I love that. That could be for Thanksgiving, gratefulness, something, retirement, lots of things happening, right? So cute little squirrel, perfect for fall. Okay, let's do one more card for today. We got a lot of fun folds this week. I think out of the 4 cards, 3 of them are fun folds, which is kind of fun. So here's card number 2. It also says, may you gather happiness, but this one is gathering flowers. Isn't that so sweet? And then the inside card just has the DSP and the panel on there. So let's put this one together. We're going to start with a Calypso Coral card base. We're going to fold it in half. It's 5.5 by 8.5. Scored at 4 1/4. There we go. And then I have a panel that we embossed with the exposed brick embossing folder in Petal Pink. Okay, so I'm going to do kind of what I did with the last card. I'm going to take my embossed panel. I have a piece of this black and white striped DSP. It is going to be attached right here to the rightish side, a little closer to the right than to the left, not centered, just a little off center. Maybe about right like that. Okay, then I'm going to wrap that ribbon around it, and I'm going to just make it a strip here, and I'm going to show you why. Sometimes I like to do it this way when I'm unsure of exactly where I want the bow to hit. Okay, so I'm going to wrap my ribbon around. This is called the slider bow. I'm sure all of you have done this before. So I'm just wrapping it around my DSP right like that. And then I'm going to pop this up on the front of my card right there. Okay, so I'm going to grab some dimensionals and adhere it to the front panel. So have any of you gotten the squirrels and have played with the squirrels already? It's been kind of fun. I've enjoyed it. This is one of those bundles that I was like, I'm not 100% sure I'm wild about it, but then started seeing all the cute cards people were making. I'm like, okay, I'm wild about it. So I hope you become as wild about it as I am. Okay, so this is going to go right here. Right like that. Okay, I have 2 pieces of soft sea foam cardstock. And we are going to take this image, and I think it's meant to look like the top of an acorn, but we're going to use it just as some little detail on the back of our soft seafoam paper, just to give it a little more texture and pop. And so I'm just taking it and randomly stamping it on either side, just to give a little pop to these panels. Okay, one more here. Missed that one altogether, didn't I? There we go. All right, did it again. Here, let's see if I can line that up. There we go, perfect. Okay, so this is going to get attached right on top here with dimensionals as well. So I would love you guys to be on my team. I love my team. They are just the sweetest, most positive group of people. And if you're thinking about joining, I would love you to think about joining my team, because I think that you need to think about the people that you join under, that they'll be there for you, that they'll support you and encourage you in any way you need it, answer your questions. Sometimes people have a lot of questions when they join, and I promise to be there for you. So I think you will love my Tuttle Up Stampers, and we really enjoy our community that we have together. So I would love for you to think about joining us. Okay, so there we go. There's those two panels. Now, there is a die set I think you need to think about, and it is this one right here. It is called the Branching Out dies, and they coordinate with the Branched Out stamp set in the Holiday Catalog. I'll show you where it's at. It's actually on the very next page past the squirrels. Let's see here, right here, Branching Out dies. And you get all these labels that are stitched, and they nest together, and they just create a beautiful label. So that is on the page right after the squirrels. And I've already cut one in basic white right here. And then I also have a scrap of white that we're going to use for our stamping. But before we do that part, I am going to put that away. Take my Secret C ink pad and a small blending brush, and I'm going to ink it up with Secret C, and I'm going to pounce it off the label here, and then I'm just going to add some Secret C to the bottom of this label to kind of look grassy, okay, behind my tree stump that's going to end up going right there. Okay, so there we go with that. I'm going to grab some ink pads that I'm going to use for my squirrels. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my Memento Black, and I'm going to stamp a couple of flowers kind of to the outside edge here of my label. Let's see if I can fix that. Yep, there we go. And a couple out this way like that. And then I'm going to stamp one of them on this white panel right here. I'm going to do a better job than that. Just do that one more time. There we go. All right, then I'm going to stamp my tree trunk in Early Espresso ink, and my squirrel as well. my outline. Oops, wrong squirrel. I need to switch out my squirrels. So the unfortunate thing is they give you 2 squirrels, but the punch only cuts out one of them. So this squirrel we're going to use, and you could always use this other squirrel if you wanted to. But we're going to use the different squirrel because we want to show you all the squirrels that you can get, right, in this bundle. So I have an outline and a regular line, and then I have my tree trunk. Okay, so I'm going to put this away for just a second. I'm going to grab my outline of my squirrel and stamp it in early espresso ink here. There we go. I'm going to stamp my tree trunk in early espresso ink as well. Maybe down here. And then for this squirrel, you know, squirrels come in all colors. This one we're going to stamp in Calypso Coral. So my plan tomorrow is to be on at about 10 o'clock Central Time with 2 more card projects, and then Wednesday around noon for our 3D project and a funny story that goes with it. So be sure to come back Wednesday at noontime. Okay, there we go. There's my solid image, my little squirrel in Calypso Coral. That's cute, isn't it? I'm going to color my tree stump here with a crumb cake blend. Okay, I'm going to color my flowers with Calypso Coral. And Daffodil Delight. Okay, there's my flowers. Here's my Daffodil Delight for the flower top right there. All right, now the unfortunate thing is we have to fussy cut all these out, but it won't take us very long. Just going to fussy cut around my squirrel. Fussy cussing. I know some people call it fussy cussing because they hate to fussy cut. I rather enjoy fussy cutting. I find it therapeutic and relaxing. And if we didn't have to do it sometimes, we wouldn't appreciate our punches, right? Okay, so here's our squirrel. Sweet little squirrel. Now, some people find squirrels really annoying and don't like them. They're not my favorite, to be honest, but I do like stamping with them. They're kind of fun. I feel the same way about birds. I don't love birds flying over my head and around my head, but I do like stamping with birds. So I don't know what that'll, well, I feel the same way about snowmen, right? I love snowmen, but I don't like snow. So I'm glad now I can stamp snowmen, and I'm in a place where snow is very unlikely, even in the wintertime, right? Might get a dusting, and it'll close the school down for a week, but I love snow. Okay, so there's my tree trunk, and then I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut out one flower here that the squirrel's going to be holding in its hand. So it's kind of hard to know how to stamp that on the label if you don't know where the squirrel's going to end up, right? Okay, so gotta be careful not to cut the flower stem off. I had my friend Caroline come to class and we were doing birds and fussy cutting them out, and she cut the legs of the birds off. So that's always our joke. Don't cut the legs of the birds off. All right. So there we go. And right here. So I am very close to a sales goal that will go away after tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of our Stampin' Up! Year. Our year goes from 1st of October till the end of September. And so all of our goals have to be met by September 30th, which is tomorrow. So I would love your orders. And I would love to reach my sales goal that I'm very close to. So if there's anything you need and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to have your orders in my Tuttle Up shop, which is right up there at the top of the screen. Okay, there we go. If you haven't gotten the Advent calendar, you know we're creating a PDF of 12 projects that you can make with everything that's in the Advent calendar. So that is a perk for buying it with me. Okay, there's my little sweet Calypso Coral Squirrel, and then this flower is just going to have a dot of glue behind it right here. I'm going to actually put it right there by the squirrel's hand and drop the flower right on top of it. There we go. Right like that. So our squirrel's holding that, let's gathering the flowers. Okay. Now I have a label in stitch label. In Smoky Slate, and I'm going to stamp that same sentiment, may you gather happiness, on this Smoky Slate Stylish Shapes label circle. And this one is a little more than an inch, inch and a quarter is the size of it. And this is going to get adhered with a dimensional right over by where that squirrel is, up in the upper left corner. There we go, right there. Okay, now this is going to get adhered right on top of those soft seafoam panels. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. There we go. Put one in the middle. Put one at the bottom. Okay, you guys are being quiet. I don't know how you feel about my sweet little squirrels here. You'll have to let me know. Okay, so there we go. So now that I have my squirrel and my panels on there, I'm going to add my basic beige ribbon bow over on this side. And I call it a slider bow because I can tie it on. So I'm just going to slide it right underneath that ribbon and tie a bow. And then the nice thing about slider bows is that you can slide them. You can end up, well, you got to make the bow first. Here we go. Okay. And then if you wanted to, if you needed to, you could slide it left and right, wherever you needed it to be. But that one looks pretty good right where I have it, right there. Okay, I might make this loop a tiny bit smaller, cut that off just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to add some gems here to this one, and I'm picking out those ones that are a little more pink this time. There we go. Got that pink hue in them that is in the paper itself. And I'm going to add 3 dots of glue. I'm going to put one right up here in this corner. I'm going to put one down here and one up there. I'm going to use 3 of those pink frosted embellishments. These are really pretty. They have a really nice shimmer to them in real life. So I'm just picking it up with my Take Your Pick tool, laying it right on top of those glue dots there. There we go. So there's the front. Now, real quickly, the inside's very simple. We just have a piece of basic white and just a strip of that same DSP that is on the front. Now, you could stamp more on the inside if you wanted to. We have this debate going in my group of ladies here. Some of them like lots of white space inside, and some of them like not to have to write very much inside, right? Okay, so there we go. There's my inside panel, and all I have to do is attach this to the inside of the card, and we will be done with our 2 cards for today. So cute. So let me pull the first one out again so that you can see them both side by side. This was our second card today. May you gather happiness. And then our first card was also May you gather happiness, but a little more of a woodland feel to it, I think. There you go. What do you guys think? First 2 cards of the week. I hope you guys love them. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. And like I said, I think I'll be here at about 10 o'clock. So join me here at 10 o'clock. Please give me some thumbs up and some hearts and some love. Share me out to your friends. All of those things are so helpful to my business, and I appreciate you so much. So God bless, and I will see you back here at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Bye-bye.